This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, hello everyone. So welcome to Mithun Technologies. So in this session, I'm going to give you that a brief introduction about that what is the Terraform, why we need to use the Terraform, right? So what are the difference between Terraform and Cloud Formation, right? How to install this Terraform in the Linux server, okay? Then how to create a IAM user to use those credentials to use in the Terraform scripts. So how to write a one first Terraform script, and we'll discuss about some Terraform commands. Okay, so these are the things we are going to discuss in today's session. So we have further continuations also there. So for that one, you can enroll it. So my admin team has already shared one message in the group chat. So go ahead and enroll it so that you are going to get that further meeting URLs. Okay. Okay. So let's jump into that the introduction of Terraform. If you see here in this slide, I have given some highlights of this Terraform, the points. Terraform is a open source. What do you mean by open source? So to use this Terraform, you are going to get that source code also free of cost. If you want to use this Terraform, you don't want to pay the money. Okay. So and it is a infrastructure as a code IAC tool. We can call it IASC tool, and we'll discuss what is this infrastructure as a code. And Terraform is developed by that HashiCorp. HashiCorp is the one company name. Okay, so HashiCorp is providing many other tools also like Terraform, Packer is there, Vault is there. Okay, so Vault many people are using to get that securely your credentials, to store that credentials securely. VAULT Vault is one tool is there providing by the HashiCorp. So Terraform is developed using that Go programming language, right? So Ansible is developed using that Python, right? So like that, so Terraform has developed using the Go language. Okay? So Terraform having that enterprise edition also is there, and this free edition also is there. Okay, so now we know that Terraform is a infrastructure as a code. We can make our infrastructure creation automation using this Terraform. What do you mean by infrastructure as a code? Infrastructure as a code is nothing but process of managing the infrastructure in a file or files rather than manually configuring sources in a user interface. See, let's take one example. So here resources. So if you take that AWS, in AWS, I want to create a one EC2 instance, means one virtual box like a EC2 instance, Linux server. Okay, I want to create a one EC2 instance. What you are doing? You are logging into that AWS admin console, right? Then you are selecting that is create launch instance, right? Then we are selecting that the EC2 instances, the instance that all these things we are doing through GY. Instead of getting this infrastructure through GY, you can write the scripts. Okay, just execute those scripts. So automatically, whatever the infrastructure you want, it is going to creates for you. So to automate your infrastructure, we are going to use the Terraform. Okay. So here we mentioned that resources. Here resources is nothing but virtual machines, the EC2 instances, Elastic IP, security groups, okay, VPC, networking, right? So these are we can call as resources. So Terraform is written in the HashiCorp language, okay, HCL. So all the Terraform files with extension is .tf. So we are going to write the scripts, right? To suppose I want to create one EC2 instance in the AWS, I'm going to write one Terraform script. So however, like our Terraform scripts will start with .sh. The extension is .sh. Same way for Terraform scripts, the extension is the file extension is .tf. Okay. So Terraform allows users to use the HashiCorp language, right? HashiCorp configuration language to create the files containing definitions of their desired resources on almost all the providers. Okay, you see, Terraform is supporting that many cloud providers, right? AWS, GCP, Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft Azure, DigitalOcean, OpenStack, IBM Cloud. So, like many providers are there. See, this is the URL. So, already I have opened. You see here. So, guys, this is very good website for your Terraform documentation. www.terraform.io/docs. Okay, see here, many providers are there. Okay, one second. Provider requirements. So just to go through this website, okay, it is providing that almost hundreds of cloud providers. Okay, so using this Terraform, you can make infrastructure as automation in any of the cloud provider like AWS. If you know the AWS, okay. So if you want to automate it, you can use this Terraform. Okay. So just go through this URL, okay, and see that all the providers, what are the providers it is providing right now. Okay. See, now we'll discuss about that difference between Terraform and Cloud Formation. See, Cloud Formation is the one automation infrastructure as a core. It will support for only the AWS. Okay. See, Terraform is developed by HashiCorp. Is the one company name. Cloud Formation is developed by that AWS, Amazon Web Services. It will work for many cloud providers like AWS, Azure, GCP, DigitalOcean. But Cloud Formation will support for only the AWS. Right. So they have designed such a way like that it is going to work for only the AWS cloud provider. But Terraform is a generic. It will support for many cloud providers. Okay, so that's why very good demand for this Terraform. Cloud Formation, it will support only for AWS. Right. So many people are migrating for other cloud providers like Azure. Cloud format, Cloud Formation will support for Azure? No. Then what is use of learning this Cloud Formation? No use, right? But if you know the Terraform, Terraform will support Azure, AWS also. So that's why if you know one thing, you can implement for other cloud providers also, multiple cloud providers. Okay. So Terraform uses that HashiCraft configuration language HCL, a language built in HashiCraft, and also it is a fully compatible with JSON also. Okay, HashiCraft can support HCL as well as JSON. In one of the interview, they asked this question. HCL Terraform will support what are the languages? HCL and JSON both. But AWS Cloud Formation use that either JSON or YAML. So YAML is another data representation format. So our Ansible playbooks we are going to write in the YAML format, right? And Cloud Formation has a limit of 51,000 bytes for the template body itself. So we are not able to send that more than 51,000 bytes data. Okay, but in the HashiCraft, this Terraform script, you can write n number of lines of code also. Okay, so this is the main difference between Terraform and Cloud Formation. Okay, so I have another question. What is the difference between Terraform and Ansible? Okay, so Terraform is an open source tool which is provided by the HashiCraft. Ansible is also an open source. So guys, Terraform having that open source and also enterprise edition. Okay, Terraform is an infrastructure as a code, which means they are designed to provision the servers themselves. See, if you want to get the servers, you have a requirement. I want that one Linux server or 100 Linux servers with the specified configurations. Okay, 128 GB RAM, hard disk space. These are the network security, all these things. Just if you write one script and if you run it, okay, fraction of minutes, you are going to get that servers. Okay, so instead of creating manually, we are going to use the Terraform script. What is use of Ansible? So after creating this servers, see, Ansible is a configuration management tool, which means they are designed to install and manage the softwares on existing servers. Okay, so after getting the servers, after creating the servers, to install the softwares, to update the softwares, to uninstall the softwares, we are going to use that Ansible. So before came into this Ansible into the market, okay, earlier the Linux administrators managing the servers manually. See, they want to update that one software in the Linux servers, 100 Linux servers. They are taking that months of time. So after started using this Ansible, it's minutes easily we can able to update all the servers. Okay, whatever the software you want. So Terraform is going to use it for creating every infrastructure. After provisioning that infrastructure to manage the softwares, to install the softwares, to uninstall the softwares, to update the softwares, we are going to use the Ansible. So Terraform is ideal for creating, managing, and improving the infrastructure. Ansible is ideal for provisioning, application deployment, and configuration management. Configuration management is one to updating the software, installing the software, uninstalling. So we can use this Ansible for application deployment also. Okay. So if you want more information about this Ansible, you can contact us, K2 Technologies admin team. Okay. Okay. So next one. What are the prerequisites? We have to get it before starting learning this Terraform. So you should know that at least any cloud provider. Okay. At least any cloud provider, AWS or GCP, Azure. Okay. Why? Because without AWS or Azure, GCP knowledge, you are not able to learn this Terraform. So to learn the Terraform, you should know that at least any one of the cloud providers. That is first thing. After that, so if you want to connect to that any cloud provider through Terraform scripts, we are going to use some secret key and access key, some credentials. So these credentials you should have. And if you are using that AWS is your cloud provider, so if you want to create EC2 instance, we have some policies you have to attach to that IAM user. How to do it? All these things I will show you. So now, whatever the examples I am going to write, it's respect to that AWS. So if you want to Azure or GCP, will help you. Okay. So first we'll focus on Terraform with AWS. Based on your requirement, you can contact to that admin team. Will help you to use that other cloud providers also. Okay. So nowadays for Azure also very good market compared to that AWS, because the reason is that Microsoft is providing with less cost. Okay. So how to install this Terraform? See, I have created one blog. Okay, so I have everyone knows this blog. If not, my admin team will share with you the URL. So this is the URL: Mithun Technologies DevOps.blogspot.com. So if you want, let me share with you guys right away. So in the chat box, I have shared with you guys. Bookmark it. It's never going to change the URL. So here many posts are there. It is very useful for the DevOps engineer. Okay. See, I want to install a Terraform. So here you will see that one label is there, Terraform. Click on this one, Terraform. So here just scroll down. See here, install this Terraform in the Linux server. So before executing these scripts, first let me create a one EC2 instance manually in the Linux server. You can install this Terraform in your laptop also, in Windows machine or MacBook. From there, you can do it. So now I'm going to show you how to install this Terraform in the Linux server. So first let me create a one EC2 instance manually first. Okay, then there we are going to install this Terraform, and there we create the scripts and we will execute it. Okay. Yes. So around I have prepared this. So Shraddha, she is asking that hope many sessions will be there for Terraform. Yes, around 8 hours I have planned for this one as of now. So based on my time availability, I will give more sessions as well as. Now let me create a one EC2 instance first. Okay. Select that AMI. So I will select that Red Hat Enterprise Linux, right? Okay. So then we'll go with the instance type T2 micro. That is more enough. Okay. 1 GB RAM we are going to get. Next. Okay. So we'll leave the default values, 10 GB hard disk space. Okay. And launch. So already I have created one PEM file, DevOps MSS Mithun Software Solution. Click on launch instance. Okay. See, whatever I'm doing manually right now, right, those things through Terraform scripts will achieve it. Terraform server. Just I'm giving that name. Okay. So this is server we just created. Okay, now I will connect to this Linux server, and first I will install the Terraform. So without installing the Terraform, you are not able to execute any Terraform scripts. Okay, so connect, and I think you people are aware of how to connect to this EC2 instance. If not, just follow my YouTube channel. So there you will get that all the videos. Okay, so I will document and I will share with you guys what are the things you have to follow. Even if you come with zero knowledge also, we're going to help you to how to run all these Terraform scripts. Still, it is not started. Still, it is initializing. Yes, it is done. Okay, we have successfully connected. If you want to check using the uname command, see after executing uname command, if you see that Linux is the output, it's confirmed you are connected to the Linux server. So already aware of that one. If you want to install a software, okay, first we should log in as a root user. Execute that sudo su -. This is the command for switching to the root user in the AWS EC2 instance. Now see, we have switched to the root user. Right. So here some steps are how to install Terraform. So if you want to install any software, first you have to update your all the system packages in your. So it is already there, and if you want to execute this one, it will take 3 to 4 minutes. So I don't want to waste that time. So if when you are doing, you people can execute this command. Then you can install this wget unzip VM package in this particular EC2 instance. Why? Because by default these packages are not available. Wget unzip VM in any EC2 instance, it is not available. So Sai is asking that Terraform scripts will work on all the cloud providers like AWS, GCP. Yes, yes, that's why it's popular. But cloud formation, it will work only for AWS. Okay. So now I have installed these packages. So now I need to download that Terraform software. So if you want to install the latest version, see, download the Terraform software. Use this URL. Okay. So I have created one page. It contains that all the DevOps related softwares in one page. So I share this URL. You people can bookmark it. So if you see here, just scroll down. So Terraform, see here, Terraform. Just click on this one. It takes you to the official Terraform software download page. Here it is private registration. So you're saying that it is not. So let me check why just Terraform download. Okay. So just Google it, Terraform download. Okay. See here, Linux 64-bit, because this is what we have created. Just click on this one. Okay. So it is going to download here itself. We don't want. What you have to do, right click on this one, copy link location. Okay. So use that wget command. Okay. So take this one. See, even here also I have documented same, but here it is the old version. See here 0.14.0. but now I'm downloading the latest version 0.14.5. Okay, so go here, execute it. Okay, now if you observe here, it is downloaded this zip file. Now I need to extract it. Okay, and we need to keep into that bin directory. Right, see, unzip, where I'm unzipping in the USR local bin directory. See, -d, already we discussed in the when we are discussing about that unzip command, we use that -d option. If you want to extract into some other directory, we are going to use that -d and that directory path you have to specify. If you don't specify -d and the directory, it is going to extract into the current directory. It is, so it is saying that cannot find or okay. Why? Because na, if you see here, we are using this command. Okay, do we have the zip file with this name? No. What is the zip file name? See here, just type ls. So this is a zip file. So copy this one. Okay, so replace. Okay, then you can execute this command. It is extracted. Now we need to check it whether your Terraform has extracted and it is installed or not. Use that Terraform -t. Okay, see, it is giving that Terraform version 0.14.5 has installed successfully. Right. So it is very quite simple to install this Terraform in the Linux server. Right. Now we are ready for writing the Terraform scripts. Right. So I have created one YouTube channel and they have uploaded one video how to install this Terraform. Just if you can go through this video, okay, and I will share the slides, all these documents with you guys. Just go through that one. Okay. So now you have to create a one IAM user manually. Why? Because when you are going to execute the Terraform scripts, it is going to connect to that cloud provider here, AWS, right? Directly without credentials, you are not able to connect it. What you have to do? You have to create a one user. How to create a IAM user? So I hope everyone have that AWS account, right? So here, if you see that services, okay, click on this one, services. Okay, here you'll see that IAM or just search here IAM. Okay, see this one. This is one of the AWS service. Click on this one. So here, see, right now one user is there. Okay, so click on this one. For you guys, it will show that 0. Okay, so if you want to delete it, you can delete it. Okay, select this one and delete user. Okay, yes, delete it. So I have deleted. Now you people will see that like this one. There are no IAM users. Now I need to create it. See, add user. Okay, so give the name. So I am going to give that Mithun Technologies. Okay, see here, access type programmatic access or AWS management console access. So if you want to connect through Terraform scripts, programmatic access is enough, right? So if you want to connect through that AWS CLI, programmatic access is enough. So if you want to log in through GUI, you have to select this checkbox. We don't want, just programmatic access is enough, right? Then click on next permissions. So here you can click on this one, attach existing policies directly. Click on this one. Okay. Here, just search with AWS EC2 full access EC2. Just search with EC2 full access. See this one. This is one policy. Select this one. So based on your requirement, you have to select these policies. Okay. So now I'm going to write a one script. Using that script, I'm going to create a one EC2 instance. For creating EC2 instance, you should have that I am having that Amazon EC2 full access policy. Click on next. So if you want, you can give that tags, or you can skip and click on create user. Okay. So it is creating user. So once it is created, see here, it is created that access key. Okay. Click on this clipboard. So this is my access key, and go and see here under secret access key. Click on here show. See, it is just copy. So you should have an access key and secret key. These are the two keys it required to work with that Terraform. Okay, clear? So anybody have any questions so far, whatever we discussed? So if you have any questions, here you can ping me in the chat box. So SL is asking, is it not possible to run the Terraform scripts with your existing user? Yes, it is possible, but whatever I'm using, that is the root user. Okay, so you should create a one IAM user and get that access key and secret key. Okay, okay. So now I will show you how to write a one Terraform first script and how to execute it. We'll see. So directly in this Linux server, I'm going to write it. Okay. So I will going to create one directory mkdir Terraform scripts. Okay. Go inside that Terraform. Spelling mistake. Okay, no problem. Done. So Somasekhar is asking that the access key and a secret can be keep as open, or do we have to use in any encryption form? So usually we are going to keep it as this, but we are not going to use like this one. We are going to use in different way. First, I will go with that how we can use directly in the script itself, this access key and secret key. Then I will show you where we are going to keep this one, this access key and secret key. So if you want, you can keep this access key and secret key in other third-party softwares like Vault. So there securely you can keep, and you can retrieve securely also for this. Okay. So now I have connected to this server. So I'm going to create a one file vi. Okay. So the file name is first Terraform script dot tf. Okay. Or if you want, you can use that any editors like Visual Studio Code. Okay, so if you didn't install this Visual Studio Code, just follow my URL. See here, it is there. One entry for download that Visual Studio Code. Okay, see here, click on this one. So it will take you to here and download that one. So James is asking one question. How can you have an IAM policy attached to that to a role that allows into the perform any S3 actions on that bucket and that objects in it? So we have one inbuilt policy called as AWS S3 full access. If you use that one, it is going to give that full access to that S3 service. Okay, if you want, you can create your own policy also. Attach that policy. Yes. Okay. See here, guys, you can download the software Visual Studio Code. It is very great tool for developing that Ansible playbooks, Terraform scripts. Right. It is. I'm strongly recommending go ahead and use this tool. So I download it and you can use it. So already I have downloaded and I'm using this one. Okay. So what I will do instead of developing this Terraform scripts in this particular server directly, I will use this editor. Okay, and I will develop and I will copy paste it here. Okay, so what I will do first, I will create one directory here. What the directory name? Terraform scripts. Okay, so right now it is empty. See here, it is empty. Okay, so open the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so here you'll see that. Click on this one. Click on open folder. Okay, so desktop. See here, Terraform scripts, and click on open. Okay, so right now it is empty. What we'll do, we'll create a one file. Okay, see here, just if you mouse over, you will see that plus symbol, file, new file. This is the folder. You need to create a file. Click on this one, new file. So give the name first Terraform script dot tf. Hit the enter. Hit the enter. So now you can write that Terraform script here. Okay, already we know Terraform script will support for many cloud providers. So here we need to mention that this script where we need to execute. Okay, so for that one we are going to use that provider section. Provider, PROVIDER, provider. So I need to use that AWS. Okay, so if you want to use that GCP, mention here Google. Okay, and a flower bracket open, close. Provider, which provider? The provider name you have to mention here. Okay, then region. See here in the AWS we have many regions are there. Okay, so if you go here, there is my AWS here, right? See here, US East region, US East, Ohio, US West, right? US West, like many regions are there. So I'm going to select that Asia Pacific, Mumbai. The region code is AP-South 1. Okay, see here, I'm going to create a one EC2 instance in this particular region. You have to select that. So whatever the resource you are going to create, where you want to create that region, you have to select it. So AP-South 1. Okay, so REGAON region space equals within the double quotes how to mention AP-South 1. Okay, then access key and secret key. ACCS access underscore key. Okay, KEY key space equals within the double quotes that access key unit key, and secret key SCC, or it is secret underscore key is equal within the double quotes that secret key you have to give. So here already we have access key and secret key. Copy paste. Okay. This one. Okay. Then resource. What you want to create in this AWS, this particular region, what you want to create? I want to create a AWS instance. So resource section you have to mention RESOURC resource. Within the double quotes, what resource you want to create. So EC2 instance. All the resource names are going to start with AWS underscore. Why? Because AWS is a cloud provider. Currently we are using underscore instance instance. Guys, see here, whatever we used so far, these keywords provider, region, access underscore secret key, all are in lowercase. And whatever I have used, exactly people has to use. And here also AWS, you have to use exactly AWS. And the region name where you want to create, that region name you have to select it. And this access key and secret key, you know how to get it. Clear? Anybody have any questions so far? No questions, right? About this script? Okay. So now resource, what is the resource? EC2 instance, you have to create it. Okay. Space, you can give any name. So I'm going to give that. Okay. AWS EC2 instance. Any name you can give this one. But this one, AWS underscore instance, you have to give exactly. Okay. Then AMI. See, when you are creating a EC2 instance, go to that EC2 instances service, and manually when you are creating, if you see here, we are going to select that first EC2 instance IAM, right here. So if you want to create EC2 instance, we'll click on the launch instance, right. So here, when you click on launch instance, it is going to ask that choose an AMI. See here, I want to create a Red Hat Enterprise Linux server. So this is the AMI ID. Copy this one. Okay. So go here in your editor. Okay. AMI space equals and you have to give that. It is not copied. So let me copy this one. Copy. This is the AMI. Okay. So after, if you see selecting this AMI, it is going to ask you to that select that instance type. Select that instance type. So you have to mention that instance underscore type is equal to, within the double quotes you have to specify that instance name T2 micro. Okay, so T2 dot micro, this is the instance. Then security groups. Okay, see, security groups we'll discuss later. Using the security groups we can provide the security for your EC2 instance. Okay, so already some existing security groups are there. Okay, so if you go to that AWS EC2 dashboard, okay, here if you see that security groups, click on this one. See here, many security groups are there. So group ID, group name. Okay, So whatever that secret group you want, you can use it. Suppose I want to use this one, launch-wizard 6. Okay, so take this one. Already some existing secret groups are there. If you want, you can use it. So if you want, you can use the default one also. Okay, so if you want, you can use default one also. Okay, so I'm going to use it. Launch wizard 3. Copy. Oh, it's not copy. So I will type it. Okay, security, security, security underscore groups. So now don't ask me, sir, explain me what is the secret group and all. And I mentioned in the beginning of this session, if you want to learn the Terraform, you should know at least any one of the cloud provider. So we choose that AWS. So secret groups, you have to specify within the, so it is a list within the square brackets, you have to mention that one. Okay, launch underscore wizard hyphen 3 is there. This is one secret group, right? And see, after creating this EC2 instance, whatever I'm going to create, I want to connect it, right? That server. So did you remember, if you want to connect to that EC2 instance, you should have a PEM file. So already I have one PEM file. Okay. So if you see here, key pairs, right? See, DevOps MSS. Right now only one key is there. Already I have created this one. So I want to use this PEM file. Already this key I have in my laptop. If you see in EC2 PEM files, DevOps MSS .pem file. So whatever the instance which I am creating now, if I want to connect to that one, I am going to use this PEM file. So you have to specify that name. Okay, key underscore name space within the double quotes. You have to mention that name DevOps MSS. DevOps MSS Mission Software Solutions. Okay, then if you see here in my EC2 instances, after creating, I'm giving some names. We see here this dashboard, Terraform server, SonarQube server, Nexus server, and all. So like that, after creating this EC2 instance, it has to give one name. So for that one, we are going to use one key called as tags equals. Okay, and here name 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 n should be capital is equal to any name you can give. Red Hat server by Terraform. Okay, means this Red Hat server is creating by Terraform. Just I'm giving one name. Clear? So guys, anybody have any questions so far? Whatever we discussed here. So Dharma Teja is asking, sir, in resource line, what is the mandatory and what can be our choice? See, the mandatory is AMI. Okay, the instance. Security group and key name, it is not a mandatory. Even if you don't provide these things, it is going to work. Okay, so Navya is asking AMI selection of OS flavors, we want to create it as yes. Sunil is asking, hi Bhaskar, we need to set this path, right? Can you show it now, that one? So Sunil, just follow my video and you can able to do it. So it is not possible to repeat that same thing because 150 participants are there. I don't want to waste their time. Anyway, I'm going to share this recorded session. So is it possible to create security group through Terraform? Yes. In the next session, I am going to do that one. It is possible. Guys, whatever you will do through GUI, we can achieve through Terraform scripts. it is possible for Ramesh question and Isil question. They're asking same question. Is it possible to create the secure groups through Terraform? Yes. In the next session, I'm going to cover that. Okay. So anybody have any questions so far, whatever we discussed? If not, I will copy the script. Okay. So I'm creating a one file called as first Terraform script. Just type I, it will come insert mode and paste it. Okay. Have created. Save it. Okay. So your script is ready. Right. Just see the content if you want one more time. Cat first Terraform script dot. So the first section is provider section. Okay. Then second section is a resources section. Okay. So Raju is asking, is it possible to create that IAM policy, sir? Yes, it is possible. Okay. You can create that IAM user also. All these things I'm going to cover. Okay. Very interesting. Whoever did that manually so far, for them it is very interesting. Yes, so in the indentation, if you follow that editors, automatically it will take it. So that's why I'm strongly recommending start using these editors. Okay. Bala is asking, is it possible to run that without access key and secret key as it is open to everyone? No, Bala, it is not possible. See, if we without access key and secret key, how we can able to connect? It is not possible. Venkata Naresh is asking, is it possible to create n number of EC instances? For all your questions, you will get that answer in the next session. Okay, so if you see in that slide 2, this one, you are going to get that very interesting topics again. Okay, so here if you see that, I'm going to count that, don't miss it. So I thought I will show you later after this session what we are going to cover. Create multiple instances, AWS credentials, how we are going to keep it, comments, variables. In the third session, we are going to cover that how to create that multiple EC2 instances and with numbers, different scenarios I am going to show you. Okay. I want to run this Terraform script. So first, you should initialize that Terraform using that Terraform init command. So however, if you want to work with your GitHub repository, first what we are going to do, git space init command, right? Correct? Same way, we need to first initialize your Terraform using the Terraform init command. Okay, so without that one, if you execute any Terraform command, it is not going to work. Terraform init. Okay, so once you execute this command, it is going to initialize that your provider. Okay, see here, it is going to initialize that AWS version 3 2.50. So see, internally it is going to some APIs. So all those APIs are going to initialize now based on your provider section. Okay, so now if you see here, once we execute lsfnla, you will see that dot terraform, right? The directory has created. Did you remember? However, we execute that after executing that git init command, it is going to create a one directory called as .git. Right? Same way, here it is going to create that .terraform, one directory. Okay. Hey Sai, can you go ahead and mute, man? Why you are unmuting? Don't unmute yourself. I'm muting and you are unmuting. It is very bad. Okay. So if you do, we're going to remove you. The admin team can remove him. Okay. So first we executed that Terraform init command. So the Terraform init command is used to initialize that working directory containing Terraform configuration files. This is the first command that should be run after writing your Terraform configuration. Okay. So now we execute it. So now after executing this Terraform init, we are going to execute that Terraform format command. See why we need to execute this Terraform format command. One second, man. Let me remove him. Where is he? I don't want these guys undone. That he's joining from mobile. I hate who are joining from mobile. Okay, I have deleted him. Okay, so suppose see the indentation is you didn't properly written here and there you have written. So like this one. Okay, so once if you execute this Terraform format command, it is going to rewrite your Terraform configuration files in a canonical format and style. The indentation it is going to maintain. Even if you don't write also, after executing this Terraform format command, it is going to be keep into that the indentation correct. Okay, so it is already there. Okay, so if you want, I will execute this one. T R A Terraform FMT format. See, if you check this one, it is going to be displaying that proper indentation. Even if you don't return also, it is going to display properly. Okay, you can check it. Next one, validate. So before executing the Terraform script, you can check that validation whether you have properly written all the sections or not. Okay, Terraform validate. So if any issues are there, it is going to gives here. So it is saying that the configuration is valid. Since your configuration file, the Terraform script is correctly written. Then before executing, just check that using the Terraform plan. So the Terraform plan command is used to create and create an execution plan. This command is the convenient way to check that whether execution plan for a set of changes matches your expectations without making any changes to the real resources or to the state. Okay, see, before actually going to execute that one, I need to check whatever I have updated, whether it is going to execute as per my requirement or not. But it is not going to go and really it is not going to execute it. Just it will give that like it's a dry run. Yes, it's like a dry run. Okay, it will shows these are the things it going to happen if you execute this Terraform script. Okay, if you want, you can execute the Terraform plan also. So now you are not going to see any much difference these commands, Terraform plan and all. Okay, so already you have created and you are updating. So that I see here it is showing that plan 1 to add, 0 to change, 0 to just 1 to add means it is going to create this instance and it is going to give that what are the things it is going to apply. See, it is going to give. Okay, now I am going to apply Terraform apply. You have to give the space. Terraform space apply. Okay. See, you can use this hyphen auto approve. If you don't use that one, see, it is going to ask, do you want to perform these actions? Terraform will perform the actions described above. Here, when only if you press yes. So if you don't want to execute this Terraform script in the interactive mode, you have to use that hyphen auto approve. If you use this option, see, when you are executing that m command, okay, ym install wget hyphen y. So this hyphen y equals here hyphen auto approve. So if you don't use hyphen y, we have to specify that y, right? It is going to ask this is the download size and this much installable size, right? So if you don't want this interactive mode, you can specify that hyphen auto approve. Now I'm going to say yes and hit the enter. Okay. So Krishna Reddy is asking, do we need to use the root user, or you can use any user you can use it to run this one? See, here it is showing that some error launching instance, possible mismatch of secret group IDs. Okay, see, maybe check that secret group name. So if any issue with this one, so whatever the script I have written, launch launch underscore wizard 3. So just check that in your AWS. So go to the secret groups. Okay, maybe you have given that wrong name. So clearly it is giving that problem with that secret group. See, hyphen wizard 3, not that underscore. See here clearly, instance launch hyphen wizard hyphen 3. So go ahead and change the secret group name. So here launch hyphen wizard hyphen 3. Okay, save it. Now you can execute that Terraform apply command. Okay. These scripts you can execute any user as a normal user also. So Gopi Reddy is asking that how do we execute if multiple scripts in a file, but we are going to use the main file. If you want to use, we'll use that modules. We'll create different directories. Using the modules, we'll achieve that one. See here, apply complete, resources 1 added, 0 changes, destroyed 0. So now, if you go and see here in the AWS EC2 dashboard, you will see that that particular server. If you observe here, Red Hat server by Terraform, right? Just still it is initializing. This created successfully. Array Prabhakar, don't unmute, man. I don't want to tell everyone, right? Okay, now see, this server has created. I want to connect it and I want to check whether it is created successfully or not, whether we can able to connect or not, right? So Santosh is asking, can we keep provider information in one file and access in other file? Yes, absolutely it is possible. Okay, but still I'm not explaining why, because we are going with very basics. I am considering you people don't know anything about Terraform. Okay, so I'm explaining ABCDs first, then words, then sentences. So I think already you are aware of this one. That's why you were asking this question. Okay, is this possible? See here, what the Santosh question is, sir, instead of keeping provider section in the main file, Can I remove this one and I will keep into one file? Can I get it? Yes, provided that TF, you can create a one file, there you can keep it. It is possible. Okay. So now let me connect to the server. Okay. And whether we can able to connect or not, we'll verify it. We can connect, copy this command. Okay. Open the terminal if you're using MacBook, or if you're using Windows, you can use that mobile tab and you can try it. Just say yes. See, it is successfully connected. Means whatever the EC instance which we have created, it is working fine, right? See, just we executed this command, Terraform apply, right? So in the server, automatically it has created. So if you want to change the name, what you will do? Open the file. Okay. So just type I. It will come in the insert mode. Okay. Now here you can give that. Suppose I'm going to give that some name. Red Hat server by Terraform. Okay. And Mithun Technologies. Now it is going to change it. Save it. So before applying, just you can execute that Terraform plan. It will show Terraform space plan. It will show 0 added, 1 changed, 1 change. It will be okay. See? So we didn't specify that out, but if you see here, one to change, 0 to destroy, 0 to add, because already it is created. Again, it is not going to be, but it is going to be changed. Which one? This one. See, it is clearly showing what it is going to change. Right? Red Hat server by Terraform Mithun Technologies. Okay. So now I'm going to apply this one. Terraform apply. Say yes. See, 1 changed, 0 added, 0 destroyed. Now if you go and see your AWS admin console and just refresh it and see that whether the updated name is going to be here available or not. See, now if you explain this one, observe, say automatically this name has changed. Right? Suppose you want to delete this one. Okay. Now you can go here, Terraform, destroy. Terraform, destroy. Hit the enter. Say yes. So Vishweshwar Rao is asking that normally if we execute the same script, will it create one more reset instance? No. If you execute n number of times, it is not going to create. Why? Because it is going to maintain a one file called as state, Terraform state. So there it is going to maintain that the details. If you execute n number of times also, it is not going to create. Only one time only it is going to create. If an update is there, it is going to update. Okay, so if you execute the script in other folder or other machine, again it is going to see now. Destroy complete resources, one destroyed means it is deleted. Now you can go here and just refresh it. It is deleted. See now it is terminated, right? So like this, you can create the resources, update the resources, delete the resources using this one. Clear, guys? Anybody have any questions so far? Whatever we discussed so far. No questions? Okay. So thank you, guys. So I am going to upload this video in the YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel is this one. So just open that youtube.com, search with Mithun space technology space DevOps. Okay. And you will see that. Please subscribe and click on the bell icon so that as soon as we have uploaded any videos, you are going to get the notification. Okay. And follow my Telegram. See, once if you open YouTube, see here Telegram one icon is there. Click on that one from your mobile. So I think already everyone have this Telegram account, right? If not, install the Telegram mobile app, create account and click on this icon. You are going to join. And if you have any questions, still if I didn't cover, you can post n number of questions in the Telegram. I'm going to answer for your queries. Okay. And also my Facebook is there. So just see here, Mithun Technology search with. You are going to see that one account. Okay, send me invitations, and my page also is there. Group is there. Join in that one. You are going to see that many webinar URLs and this blog URL is there. Very useful. N number of blogs are there. Very useful for DevOps engineers. Okay, and I hope this URL everyone has bookmarked. Okay. Anybody have any questions before winding up? So next session will be this Saturday, coming Saturday. Okay, and Sunday one more session. So let's see, as much as I will try to take that classes. So Saturday means 38th Jan and 31st Jan. Okay, so I hope everyone has enrolled using that Google form so that you people are going to get that next session meeting URLs. Okay, or if not, if you are facing any issues, you can contact with my admin team. So the number is 9980923226. So the code is +91 India. Or if you have any queries, you can send one mail, DevOps training blr@gmail.com. Okay. So whoever enrolled, for them, we are going to send that meeting URL. Okay. So further meeting URL. Thank you, guys. We'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you, Mithun.